Hey guys, I'm Jerry Miculek, and I've got something real exciting to show you. This is FN's PS90 carbine. So what that means to you is a semi-automatic carbine chambered for that 5.7 by 28 cartridge. It's a really unique cartridge in itself. We'll get to that in just a minute. To make this legal for a civilian to own, you can look at it and see it has to have a 16-inch barrel, and it has to be so long overall, and it meets both of those requirements. This one is fitted with an optic. It's a semi-automatic, which means it'll fire only one round per trigger pull. The military and the law enforcement version of this is the P90. It's a fully automatic, it's capable of fully automatic fire, and it comes with a 10.5-inch barrel. So the regular civilian model, 16-inch barrel, semi-automatic only, will fire only with one cartridge per trigger pull. Pretty neat package in itself. It's totally ambidextrous. The charging handles, the safeties here on the side of the trigger, left or righty can go ahead and use it with the same effect. This one has an optics mount on it. I have a Vortex razor on it. The 6-minute dot fits right perfectly in line with your eye. So very easy gun to get accustomed to and to shoot rapidly. That's the whole idea behind that 5.7 cartridge. Was NATO put out a bid back in the 1980s to replace the standard NATO pistol round, which is a 9x19 pistol round. Pretty common. I mean, everybody's a 9x19 handgun somewhere. What they wanted was a more effective round to replace that standard cartridge. Also, they wanted to have the officer or the military personnel to carry more ammunition per pound. So the FN round actually weighs half of what the 9x19 standard pistol round weighs. So you could actually carry twice the ammo for the same weight, or you carry half the ammo for the same weight. So it gives you an idea of the differences in the weight of the ammunition there. So also the cartridge is a lot more effective against body armor. The whole idea behind this was to use in military and law enforcement applications. The original cartridge came with an armor-piercing core, very high velocity. The rounds we have, of course, the military rounds are restricted to just that, military or law enforcement. The rounds we have are either a lead core or they are a lead-free training round. So I'll give you an idea what's available to the public. So what you have here, 16.5-inch barrel, overall length of about 26.5 inches. It's got an optic on it, fully ambidextrous safety controls, a top-mounted magazine, which is pretty neat itself. I'm gonna go ahead and take the flag out, give you an idea how the magazine works. We're empty. The magazine itself, guys, has shot round indicators on it, so you can see as you use it how many rounds you have left. It's semi-transparent, so you can do a visual on it also. What's also pretty neat about it, how it attaches, you just put it in and clip it, and it's ready to play. Go ahead and hit the charging handle, and you're ready to rock and roll. So this magazine actually holds 50 rounds of their 5.7 ammunition. So very compact, very much uniquely FN. So there it is, guys, 5.7. Okay, guys, we'll give you a quick disassembly of the FN product here, the PS90. First thing, we'll make sure there's no ammunition present. We have an empty chamber flag in the chamber. We're empty. What you want to be sure of to disassemble it is that you do have it in the cocked position, so our hammer's back. This assembly plunger is right here on top, so it's pretty easy. Just go ahead and depress it, pull the barrel assembly out. You notice it comes straight out to the front. The bolt assembly also will follow straight out to the front. Everything's captivated, all the recoil springs are captivated. So what we want to do next is pull the trigger group out. You notice the back of this plunger here, actually when it's in the inserted position, it locks the buttstock together. So with the bolt out, you can pull the buttstock up and pull it off. Reach into the rear, flip this little lever up on the trigger group, pull it up, and there's the trigger mechanism. Entirely made of plastic. Of course, the springs and some of the other parts are metal, but most of it, 95% of it, is all plastic. So, and that was the idea behind this platform. Make it relatively inexpensive to manufacture, easy to maintain. Of course, with the use of all these synthetics, you can have a very lightweight and a structurally sound compact package like this bullpup design here. Go back together with it if you need to service it. If you finish with it, go ahead and put it back in. Okay, we're back. Go ahead and drop the buttstock in. It's all the way seated. Take your bolt assembly. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think you could screw that up and put it in upside down. They're probably smart enough. Yep. See, they were smart enough to design this thing that even a fool can reassemble it on his first try. There it is. So the bolt's back. Take your barrel assembly, push it in till it clicks, depress it, depress the plunger here, put it in, and you can see, guys, it's very big pieces, everything is contained, so if you got to do any maintenance in the field, you're not going to really lose any parts or pieces. Very easy to field strip. Go ahead and put the flag back in it, so there it is. Pretty easy to disassemble, maintain. Okay guys, we're going to look at some ammunition. This is the reason this whole platform evolved. NATO said, hey guys, we got this 9x19. We've been having it since 1908, I believe, when this cartridge first came out. It's kind of dated. The bad thing about it is, it's kind of low velocity. You got a 115 grain bullet, maybe out of a carbine doing 1300 at best. You can easily defeat this with Kevlar body armor. What NATO wanted to do was to have a personal defense weapon, something that might replace a handgun, be more effective, be easier to carry, have more ammunition per pound, rounds per pound of ammunition than the standard 9x19. So FN stepped up to the plate and came up with their 5.7. This is their 5.7 by, let's see, 5.7 by 28 millimeters long. So give you an idea, this is what they thought would be a better cartridge. What you have here weight-wise, if you were to weigh these cartridges, you could have two 5.7 rounds to one 9x19, so it's half the weight. Velocity, this is a 27 grain bullet, and it's probably doing 2,500, 2,450 out of that little 16-inch barrel. So you have a lot of zap right there, you have a lot of velocity. And what velocity does when you're trying to defeat body armor is, the faster the bullet, the harder it is to stop. If you make the bullet hard and fast, it's extremely difficult to stop. Also, a lighter bullet recoils less, even though it might be going twice as fast. The recoil is going to be less than a heavier bullet. So what they came up with was a lighter, faster bullet that can defeat body armor. So when it's sold to military and law enforcement, they have the option of shooting a penetrator round, which is made just for that, to defeat body armor, and also helmets and sorts of personal protection of that nature that the 9mm cannot defeat. So it will do a lot more than what the 9mm will do on that aspect. It's half the weight. It's a totally different concept. And what they wanted to do was basically do away with the handgun and have an intermediate sized firearm platform that someone could use in a tight location. If you're inside of an automobile, inside of a tank, or anywhere where a size of the firearm is really in the way, that short 11-inch barrel, high velocity round with that 50-round magazine is quite an option to go to. So room entry gun, of course. Then also there's 5 different 5.7 rounds available to the end user if you're in law enforcement. There's a penetrator round, there's a lead-free round, there's a ballistic tip round, and there's several other lighter weight, higher velocity rounds. So the flexibility of the cartridge is, if you're in a situation where you need less penetration, you have that option. If you're shooting against terrorists who you presume might have body armor, the AP round would be of choice. If you're just shooting against Joe Blow citizen, and then he's not, you don't consider him have body armor, you know, you could use a frangible ammunition, would be a lot less collateral damage, so a lot less ricochet. So a lot of different capabilities there in that cartridge, where the 9x19 is a little bit lacking. So give you an idea what the cartridge looks like compared to a standard 22 long rifle. 27 grain bullet versus a 40 grain on the 22 long rifle. Another interesting thing here, I pulled a projectile on the 5.7 to get an idea. This is their frangible, I call it a frangible. It's a lead-free practice round, so it's a really thin jacket. This is a 27 grain bullet. It's actually pretty long for its weight. It has a lead-free core, probably some tin combination, I don't really know other than that. So it's totally lead-free, non-toxic. It has 7.1 grains of a very small ball propellant. It's about the smallest sized ball propellant I've ever come across. So there again, it's very much a specialty item for its propellant wise. And that's a 27 grain frangible projectile for it, lead-free training round. So give you an idea what that looks like. Another thing we'll talk about real quick is size. and volume. This is a 50 round box of ammunition, and this is 20 rounds of Hornady 9x19, not Hornady 9x19 FTX 115 grain 9mm ammunition. Very good ammo, and give you an idea of the difference between 20 rounds and 50 count. So there again, twice as much ammo in the same amount of space. So if you're going into a situation where you don't know how long you're going to be there, sometimes more bullets might be your friend. So that's the option there on the 5.7. So what you thinking here, guys? This is just a logical evolution of the handgun. The same thing happened in the U.S. service when we went from a full-size 30 caliber battle round into the M16 round. So it's evolved into a lighter, faster bullet. You can carry more. You can carry twice the amount of ammunition than you can of a 7.62 by 51 NATO. And the 5.56 rounds is about half the weight, maybe even 30%. 3-to-1 ratio here as far as weight-wise. So it's just a practical evolution of the handgun cartridge. This, by the way, is a Hornady 40 grain 223 VMAX, and it's cooking this one out at about 3,800 feet a second. This is a 27 grain bullet out of that 16-inch barrel, doing about 2550. So you can see by the comparison of the size, it's a truly very efficient cartridge for what you have. You're only shooting 7.1 grains of powder, and you're getting 2,500 feet a second out of a 27 grain bullet. So very efficient for what it is, compact, efficiency. So it's got a lot going for it. It's kind of new to the world, but there it is, guys, 5.7. One of the most unique features of this whole platform, to me, is this magazine has a rotary feed in it. You'll never see this except on this particular platform, firearm platform here. Give you an idea, I'm gonna go ahead and load one. First one goes in conventionally. Now if you notice, when I go to address the second round, it's going to sweep it off and it's going to rotate into the magazine itself. So what happens as you put the cartridge in, it's going to index completely into a stacked position orientation like this. So as I address them to the feed lips, they're going to turn and rotate into their fixed position in the magazine. So as you insert them, they actually orient themselves this way into the magazine. So you're looking at a firearm that's capable of 800 rounds a minute, and this magazine can stay with it, and it's 100% reliable. It's really a feat of engineering in itself. This magazine design is pretty wicked. So give you an idea of some of the thought and some of that product design involved in that package. So 50 round magazine, you can count them from the top, round counts, rotary feed, very much unique to this handgun, to this PDW. Hey guys, I'm pretty excited. I got my FN PS90 here. I got a couple of 50 round magazines. I got a sack of ammunition. I've got a fully automatic P90 coming also with a suppressor. So we're going to get some trick ammunition. We're going to do some things with it you might haven't seen before. So I'd like for you to subscribe to Miculek.com and also like me on Facebook. And you can find a link to us on the description box below. And also send us some ideas on what you'd like to see us do with these FNs, these 5.7s. So if you have any ideas, please send them, and we're going to make them rock and roll. I guarantee you we're going to shoot fast.